Greetings. Welcome to Legacy of Worlds. I am Tomekeeper Devon, and I just want to take some time to thank those who make this show possible. Hero Forge, WizKids, KP11 Studios, Foambrain Games, and of course, Linvander themselves. But now, the adventure and the stories unfold. A sparkle of chromatic confetti envelops all of you as Fizzband's magic transports you about. You feel yourself tossing and turning, fizzing and bizzing, and zip-zap zowies all the way until the heat once again begins to permeate through your skin as the sweat immediately begins to make your clothes cling. The arid air returns, and the sandiness and the grit blowing its way up into the folds of your cloaks and tunics.
I hate this place.
Oh, me too.
I pull up my decanter of endless water. Sip, sip.
Yes, of course,
Sip,
thank
sip.
you.
As the cracked land of Athas sprawls out before you. But this time it is not just a vast desert veering off into the horizon. It is an oasis. There is greenery here. There are fronds, there is irrigation, and there is farming. As you can see, large walls up ahead, roads leading into different openings, and there is a ziggurat, a pyramid-like structure, sort of just off to the
It's
side.
the solar bastion.
What time of day is it?
It is very warm. Seems to be a little bit in the afternoon. The sun is still red hot. The dark sun above.
No midnight.
Okay. Locate object.
It is in the city. You'll have
No,
you have to move into the city.
You can't tell me that.
You're not quite in the
I
thousand
never
yet.
knew that it would be in the city.
It's a big city. But
But
you
you
can use that to move in.
We got 10 minutes. Let's
Does
get
the
moving.
city
Yeah,
have any signposts?
For the next 10 minutes, let's follow in the direction of the pull of the straight line of where I'm.
Easy to Lurik? Does it say
It does say it is Uruk. You are currently having come out near the Obsidian Gate, which comes off what is marked as the Trade Way.
Is it actually obsidian?
Yes.
Nice.
So the first thing you notice at looking at the city is that there are statues of the same figure every 10 feet or so along the wall at both of the sides of the gate entrance. You see the same statue of the same individual. You see lots of lion heads cascaded about.
What is the individual? Human? What?
Human, but with exaggerated features that make them look kind of like a lion of a man.
And I just want to ask one more thing. Are the statues new?
No, they are as old as
Okay.
the walls.
I see.
In fact, they are so old that they might even be older than the sand beneath your feet. They
Got it.
appear to be quite ancient.
Okay.
But well maintained.
The statues are of a humanoid with a lion head.
No, a human looking person, but sculpted in a way to give them physique and features that resemble that of a lion. Flowing hair, muscular features, sort of like just sort of elongated fingernails ever so slightly. Just a bit of a lioness.
Beans on there?
No.
Oh, that would be so
Like there isn't enough to make it like feline in appearance, but just if you were to take an animal to describe this person, you would use the animal lion.
I have to say, it really does make me sad that Big Red isn't here for us, because he would totally like a big gate made of obsidian, and it's called Obsidian Gate. Like that totally would.
Something tells
he
me
would
you
like
would
that.
appreciate such naming.
Exactly.
conventions, yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's a Mystara thing. And you're selling.
I'm just saying, Merrick's, they would miss their gate. Just saying.
Yes, of course. Well then, we know what this place holds. Despite the fact that we stand aloft green grass, we know that their minds are attuned with psionics.
There are two yellow-cloaked individuals on either side of the gate beneath the statues.
And that's where the ping is having us go?
Further into the city, yeah. These yellow-cloaked individuals are dressed in carapace and bone with spears made from the spines of large creatures. Yeah. I mean, you kind of just walked out from nowhere.
Disguise self?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just going to get to that.
I'll go back to that look I had previous.
Water merchant?
Yes, it sounds good.
Invisibility.
Mage armor and psionic mind protection.
Sure.
I need to keep my locate object on, so I'm just going to look like me because I could be.
You're, interesting. Are you wearing metal armor? Let me invisibility you.
Looks like it's you and I, my friend.
So I'm just using a third level slot to get both of us.
So I'll act like the one.
Question for you then. Do you draw from yourself to cast this magic, or do you draw from the land?
We're here. For a third level spell, I will draw from myself.
That'll be 3 hit dice.
Understood. And I will.
I hate
We're doing
this.
this. Yeah, exactly.
Are you sure you wanted to do that? Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, just because otherwise we're going to people coming after your armor and stuff. I mean,
It's under.
That would also apply to your disguise self. I believe that's a bard spell.
Yeah, it's 2 hit dice, I believe. No, 1 hit die.
1 hit die.
1 hit die.
From your
1
bard
hit die. Here we go. Come along, Alfred. We must make our way into the city. There are things to sell.
Very good, Master Wayne.
Yes.
I've seen some good shows.
Alfred.
Yes, I got it.
Okay, yeah. Come, Alfred, come. Excuse me.
What brings you to the city of Urix and the lord of the king of all the world?
Trade.
Oh, this again.
You are here to trade in the artisan's quarter.
Yes, of course.
Very good. And they move their spears to allow you entrance.
Well, that was easy. And so,
It's a city.
so we'll come in. Come. Alfred, please.
Yeah, it's very good.
And then as you walk through, we'll have to lean back and be like, I'm really sorry. I was just playing the part.
It's okay. It's totally okay.
So
Role-playing.
Oh,
I
and I'm
love
like,
it.
Merrick, Elise, are you here?
Group chat.
Oh,
Yes.
Merrick, Elise, are you here? Yeah. He stops and goes,
no, but I like that. That's actually what happened.
Yeah,
you
he
could
said-
say that more like, dude.
Group chat.
Dude.
right. And he'll say all out, apologies. He's like,
Passing through the obsidian gate, you can see that there are wonderful pieces of artwork crafted from obsidian all along the walls, and there's kind of flecks of it
this is not so bad.
into beauteous arrangements. And as you ponder that thought, that it's quite nice looking, even though the sun continues to beat down, reflecting off of the obsidian, you hear the sound of screams and clashing and fighting and the roar of crowds cheering as looking off to the side you can see a pit of jagged obsidian where a gladiator has just been kicked, impaled upon the
Oh,
spikes
is it our
protruding.
friend who just got dead?
No, he's in the cart.
Oh, he's in the cart. That's right. Okay.
And kind of raises his arms in uproarious cheer around. But that's off to the side. Up ahead, you can see what you would assume to be some sort of trade market. There's stalls and other buildings that are arranged with various types of goods. It's fairly slim pickings, but you can see there's a lot of things that you would expect to find, like pottery. There is some foodstuffs. There's some clothing. And you can see that there are lots of people engaging in all types of bartering and purchasing.
I heard that as bartering, and I'm like, oh, it's a new type of singing. You know, they're singing for their supper.
I'm still have the locate the object on. Do I feel a pull in one direction?
You feel a pull taking you further north, which is beyond the Artisan Quarter. You can see that there is a road leading to the west, which seems to go into a more upper part of the city. And you can see there are far more statues of the same exact man everywhere, almost in every city block and corner.
These aren't new.
No, these have been here for a very long time. And you can see that as you go towards the west, it gets nicer looking buildings, a little bit more obsidian displays, and the statues get much nicer.
Yeah,
But
Maybe
where am I going?
I have an idea. Maybe see if there are any artisan vendors selling like mini versions, like souvenirs of that statue.
oh, absolutely, there are people selling statues.
Maybe they
of
ask
the King of
somebody
Kings.
to buy one statue and say, "Oh, what is your personal connection to making this art of this?" And maybe they will tell you a little bit about who this guy is.
So,
I'm just literally slipping a couple coins in your hand, being like,
He's got the rubies and the.
dropping a ruby is way too overkill for a statue. I'm just saying, I want a couple of these, so you know, here.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's totally.
Use the coin as like you do. Okay, so I'll just go up to a merchant who has a statue and be like, "Excuse me."
Did you want one out of pottery or one that's out of like sculpted from clay, and then, or did you want something that's out of
fancier
obsidian?
one. Yeah.
Obsidian. Then.
Obsidian, yes. Excuse me.
Ah, yes, you have the look of an intelligent and astute buyer. You are here to find all of my various mercantile things. Can I interest you in a fine statue of the great king of the world? And he holds up the statue.
Is it which one? An obsidian one? Or?
Yes.
Oh, that would be lovely. The king of the world. What can you
You
tell me
appear to
about
be a
this?
merchant of sorts, yes?
Of course.
Do you wish to barter, or shall you pay us in the currency?
What is the currency?
You must be very new to this. Do you
Am
not
I, or is this just a tactic?
Dude, you're a merchant. You would know what the currency is.
He forgets about the tattoo. He's like, I know.
You want the bards or
I understand what I'm doing, he says. Now,
You've got water, endless
If
water.
you have goods to trade with, I will happily do so, else you must pay with the ceramic coins.
Got endless water.
these are metal coins, right?
Water.
I, perhaps, would be able to give you even more such, but I want information.
You think about metal coin?
Yeah. No, he doesn't. He just,
Okay,
I close my hand. I don't think so.
Ah, you come to Silan the Serpent. Very good choice.
Tell me a bit about the statue and what it represents.
Hamamu, the king of the world, sorcerer king.
Well, Hamamu, I've come to bargain.
Sorcerer king of the city of Uruk. Probably the most liked of all of the sorcerer kings, though still quite dominating of the populace. You're not from around here, are you?
Oh, what was your first clue?
Do you got questions for him?
What can I do for you? Silan the Serpent has many allies and
Well, I
knows much.
have a series of questions to ask you, starting with. Wait a minute.
What do you got? Anything? What he wants you to point out.
Good disturbing this.
I'll do this.
The problem with the king. Oh,
Sorry, I did not quite hear that thought. Let me think again. Repeat.
Let me
ask
guess.
about the serpent.
Let me guess. You seek a discreet solution to your problems. Well,
Tell me
Silan can help.
Tell me more about the serpent.
That is me.
Oh, Christ.
Who was that? Any other questions?
I trust your benefactor or patron has sent you here to discuss with me as opposed to show themselves, yeah?
So Lovel's waiting for them to speak in group chat. Alfred,
All right, I'm actually going to appear using disguise self before I do.
Okay.
To try to sort of, we've seen a bunch of people around.
Yes, you have.
Trying to sort of go for what looks like a
So
sort
there are
of
two
more
types of
upper class.
people. There's a lot of the, we're going for more upper class. So
Yeah.
the guards are all wearing yellow cloaks.
Right.
I'm assuming you're not going for that.
No, I'm going for being I sent my servant here to do my business.
Very
but,
good.
I am too.
But you need to make yourself look a little higher end than how he is looking.
Precisely, and more essentially of a, yeah. So I'm going to appear and say, yes, it is true. What has happened in this city of late over the last few days? Has something changed?
Who's asking, Orsilan?
I will also flash a metal coin and then another, and saying, someone will need to pay for their anonymity. It's tricky to say.
It is.
Even without tusks.
But I am actually going to toss him one of the coins. Like, it is clear I have more, but I'm going to give him one straight up as, yeah, we're here to do business.
You don't look like a Templar.
Answer the question, please.
A man in my position must be careful, you know. The Sorcerer King has eyes everywhere, huh?
Don't worry, we are extremely discreet.
Yes, I gather.
Alfred?
What can you give me to ensure that the information will not make its way back to me?
I will pull out...
Alfred must ask permission to speak. and then in a little hole's like, sorry, I'm sorry.
over group chat, I was going to give him water.
I was going to give him water, and I was going to say, it is hard to track someone across water.
Yes, I think that's excellent. So I will nod to you.
It is hard to track someone across water.
He pours a bunch of water in. I will go
Make a
ahead
very intriguing proposition.
and I will go ahead and hold out a small cup for you to pour that. Yeah. Here, let us drink to our partnership.
Very nice. Good. The serpent can help you then. Ask your questions. You want to know something different.
What has changed over the last week?
Hold on. There's one more measure of security. And the sword hits the sand.
Oh, noise.
And I'm just going to walk around his entire booth area, carving into the sand, and then
I forget we have these things.
zone of truth.
It's been so long. Like, that really takes me back.
Oh, I do not like that feeling.
it is essential to you to receive this,
I go wilder.
perhaps.
Yeah.
It says it's divine, it's fine, right?
Good.
I am not welder, I am tamer.
Go ahead and ask the questions.
We are paying you well to gain information. We wish to assure that you are being honest with us.
Well, Silan is always, that's it. Okay.
So, what has changed over the last 7 days?
If you are here to worship Hamanu or seek his favor, I would recommend doing so very soon. Tarry not, else you might find different management.
So there is a rebellion underway?
There are always rebellions for the Sorcerer Kings. They have held their power for generations, 1,000+ years, until recently the Sorcerer King of Tyr was speared through the heart by one of his people, trailed and killed, and now Tyr is called the City of the Free. A thought heretofore unknown by any Ador of Athas. But rumors abound that such a thing is coming here to Uruk as well, and that Hamanu's days as Sorcerer King are numbered.
But I ask again, what has changed here in the last 7 days?
The rebellion have found a new champion, it would
Now
seem.
we're talking.
One capable of nullifying the great powers of the Templars.
Is this champion a gladiator?
A defiler,
We
as
find-
they are called here.
Wielding power similar to a defiler, and yet does not channel the magic as we know it. The Templars cannot counter it. The Sorcerer King would be powerless. These great warrior from unknown location wields a blade of the most verdant green.
Now we're talking. Where?
I was wondering how long it would take to find one of those.
Yeah, and where? How would we find this great champion?
That is the question, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
He always appears when the rebellion must strike. Only very few people here would know where you might find them.
And of course, and I am pulling out skin.
One of the
Yes, I am pulling out a skin and tipping it a little to
Why
show
would you waste
with
it?
water. We were trusting we'd come to one of those.
Oh, of course. We do good business, you and I.
Remains to be seen.
Beneath the city of Urek, there lie the tunnels of the sewer system. It is a nice, dark place to hide, is it not?
Understood.
Many creatures who wish not to be found, such as rats slinking in the shadows of the city, would stay down beneath the sands and the sun in the darkness. Such places would be very advantageous for those who wish not to be found or seen by Templars or their sorcerer king.
Where is the closest entrance to the sewers?
Sewers have many access, but
Sure.
they're usually found near the irrigation system. Or in
Chat, anything
upper
else we got
parts
here?
of town where those with the money
The
have
description
access.
of the green blade wielder.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I mean, so certainly, have you ever seen this champion yourself?
I have not laid my own eyes upon them, but I have heard things. You see, I do hear things. I
Yes.
hear many, many things. For
Cling! Coin is flying towards Anne.
things are valuable, as you may see. There are stories of this figure rising from the depths of the sands, a hero among heroes, wielding a blade of steel, of metal, glowing as green as the oasis, wearing armor made of the strongest metal that bone shatters, and even kites and quails.
Man, woman, mole, human?
Said to be a human. Listen, I hear many stories. Some people say they claim to be 12 feet tall.
Do they happen to wear orange? Orange fabric?
Not to my knowledge.
Male, female, hair color?
Male, I think.
Okay, so not like a lady with red hair or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
How dare you?
Well, they don't have a demarking. If there's no sash or no sigil, then therefore it must be a rogue Iltherian.
The sewers are still our best bet here. And again, I'm saying this group chat. The sewers are our best bet. We could still track the card. We could try and track a Rennick blade or something like that. Do we think we have got anything else? I feel like we've done. I will
You know how to track Rennick. You detect magic, and if you
Alfred leans forward.
Oh.
Says, "It has been a pleasure speaking with you." And he looks around for any cup or decanter.
There are various ceramic
He takes out the
potteries.
decanter and fills it to the brim.
And
Come back anytime.
During this conversation, while he was very distracted by water and answering
I would say he's
questions,
distracted.
I will palm a couple of the stone figurines.
oh, I'm buying a couple. So you've got that. But I am, because I would not notice that. And I was just going
I'm
to say.
invisible.
Oh, yeah, of course. I was just going to say I was also going to just put a couple coins on the table. And I'm taking a couple of those.
Very well. Okay.
Now, again, those are two different things. I'm just saying, Merritt literally actually does.
Yes.
want a couple. So,
Thank you very much for your time.
You are most welcome. Please come back to Silan the Serpent anytime.
Paul turns back and says, "And one other thing. I think we've paid enough for your silence.
Of course, of
It's a
course.
two-way streak of anonymity.
I like to have good paying customers.
Of course.
Good paying customers are very rare to find. We got to make sure that they can stick around.
Alfred?
Good paying customers. May the Sorcerer King have his eyes away from you.
So in group chat, well, it looks like we have a weave breaker on our hands.
interesting.
This is
What
the
is that?
same person that came into Sigil with the green clay.
Could possibly be.
I don't think so. No, here's my issues. We do know they have a green blade, they're a man, and they have good armor. So all of that says yes. But if they are indeed acting as a champion, that does not sound to me like...
No, because they would have been hit by the card. But what if in the explosion,
It's very possible.
one of the cards just we didn't see what happened? So maybe because
Very
they
possible.
disappeared,
We
one
could,
of the cards hit him.
I mean, that would be ideal, because if that's the
Yes,
case,
it would be
could tell
very
us-
ideal. Probably too easy,
Okay.
but it makes sense.
From where we're standing now, as we move away from
Right.
Sly Merchant communicating,
Yeah.
what direction
That
is the
way.
card? And it's not near the ziggurat, it's further that way.
It's further up north away from the noble
And it
quarters.
feels up, not down? Doesn't feel like sewers?
It is. It is maybe a little down, but like the city is a little uneven too, so it could possibly be underground. But it has also been moving ever so slightly, just the faintest amount. But it's always been in the same direction.
There's a couple things to consider that I hadn't even thought of until you brought that up. So I was assuming that the card was on the person who doesn't belong here. And it could be our friend from the orrery who got hit by a card in the thing, and that makes perfect sense. On the other hand, it could be that person is here looking for the card.
The Ophir.
Yes, that if Carlisle wants.
That's true.
So the one thing I would say is if we think from looking at them, well, you'll recognize them if it's that person because you saw them.
Very briefly.
But if it is that person and they have the card, we may not want to take the card away from them until we have a chance to talk to them. So I'm saying we might want to subdue them without grabbing the card.
To get information about
Or
cards.
we make them disappear.
Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to change that. We'll get him to change his name. But that's all I'm saying is just if the card is on someone else and he is tracking the card, then we just get the card as normal. But if he has the card, we should try not to take it.
And we know that magic will be at a disadvantage fighting this individual. So be careful to
Magic's
spell
always a disadvantage.
including hot stuff.
I don't think that's a problem.
Hot stuff is an item, and we have already been here using items just fine.
I don't mean against
You mean
Against the
green-bladed warriors. Depending on the
blade.
path of chosen expertise, these green-bladed warriors have the ability to sunder magic and destroy it in all forms.
So I will
How
say
much does a blade weigh?
it depends.
Too much.
Not more than
more than a pound?
Curse it.
I will say that the Silan had said that the irrigation is the better way to get into the sewer, which would be to the south, whereas the card is directing you to the north. Whether or not you think that
I think maybe we head north and sort of see if we track the card. If it suddenly takes a big dip and it's clear it's under, then we
It's
waste a little
basically
time.
easy way, roundabout, direct way, harder to do.
The main point to me is, as I said, we were assuming, he said the champion is in the sewers probably, but we were assuming the champion was the same person who had the card, and that may be false information.
Yeah. But the champion is new in town. So I am trying to think that maybe the champion is the one with the card,
I think
and they could be one and the same.
it's the logical assumption is that's the case. It's just bugging me that it's above ground.
They said the champion is wielding the blade.
Yeah.
So
So do you want to go, we either go south into the sewers and then head north, or we head north and see if it seems like he's in the sewers, in which
how
case we have
close
to
is the
backtrack.
south entrance?
not that far away from where you came in.
All right.
Let's just do that.
Okay, let's go.
Who doesn't love sewers? Am I
I
right?
am still invisible and I'm still tracking.
Right.
And I'm in the sewers again.
And I do have to say, actually, this is a pretty trivial common magic item. I am just going to give everybody a little set of nose plugs that actually emanate a pleasant illusory scent. Just this isn't my first rodeo.
Vanilla flavored poo. Oh,
It's actually Zilnilla.
Oh,
I mean Vazilla. Excuse me, it's Vazilla. It's a Zillargo gnomes. The gnomes make it. It's the best vanilla you're gonna get. So
When we get to the sewer entrance, I'll divine sense down the sewer. Or actually, hold on. What does the sewer entrance look like?
So, Heading towards the irrigation that is pushed out to keep the various farms moving. You can see there are people tilling away at the farms, backbreaking work over the hot sun. Most of them have stripped down to just like mostly a loincloth as they move along to keep everything going. But you can see there are tunnels leading some water out and irrigations, and it appears that there would be some kind of well or aqueduct system, likely controlled by the Sorcerer King. But you can see there are some entrances which have the stone sort of semicircle entrance with iron bars blocking the access as the water flows out.
That's very weird.
There is just a moment when Merrick's is actually very excited about that because he knows it's so rare here, and then he's like, "Oh wait, iron! Like this is not like, oh my god, iron! Let's take it home." I was gonna just do a pass wall, but I hate to throw around.
So
that
I
kind of magic.
can stone shape them out.
Your magic doesn't give us trouble, right?
It does not, but it is one of my highest things I can do.
It's better than sucking the life force out of.
Okay, well, let's look at our options here. Pass wall is one of the highest level things I do too, and it sucks the life out of stuff. Like,
So I'll do it.
I think that's the best idea. Unless I'm just saying, anyone else have any ideas before we do that?
Quickly.
What about Dimension Door?
I can use the pipe spell
It would take 3 shots.
9 times a day.
Yeah.
700 yard, 640 meter
You could get
range.
through.
Yeah.
Question though,
It's
mechanically
going to
speaking,
drain you?
No, it's the pipe.
It's the pipe.
Oh, okay.
mechanically speaking, we did not take a long rest. We took a short rest.
Correct.
I'm going to need it, so.
I think we should take a short rest.
Unfortunately,
Short
I spent
rest, yeah.
all my hit dice.
I'm all for a short rest.
So I'm just saying.
Sorry, I forgot you
We
got-
probably took that on the shores.
I would think we would have
while
healed
while
up. I
the
forgot
day
that we were...
this trial. So
Yeah, and I can give you a couple shots of my healing one if
please
you
do.
want. Just no need to spend any
Well
spell
below
slots.
half,
But
so.
okay, well, hang on a sec. I'll give you three
Oh,
shots.
I be out of your.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 12, so save your
We
energy.
need it.
All right, so that's 14. No, I'll just roll them all and let you know what comes out to 28. Oh, excuse me, 30. And let's do one more. 40 is
Fill
up
me up.
3 shots. There you go.
Thank you very much.
And actually, I need a shot on it myself. I'm forgetting what it's like to not have my usual
I
shield.
just realized we didn't take a short rest on that one, and I'm a little heavy on that on Shaylin
Yep.
with my smites.
You did. It was also very helpful.
I gotta say, that was just really inspiring.
Arcane recovery once a day. When he finishes a short rest, Elminster recovers all his spell slots of 5th level and lower.
There you go.
I don't know why I just did that. I don't know how long it's been, but I am recovering. I'm wearing my ring.
Yeah,
Yeah, you'll be full regeneration.
I know, yeah.
Just to double check, you're short resting.
We were saying logically to us, we would have short rested on the
Saying goodbye to
pleasant
Imogen.
shores
Got it.
of,
Yep.
of
With
chatting
Fizban.
with Fizban, and eating pudding, you know.
Yeah.
Before
That's
heading
good.
back.
Okay, perfect.
Because I mean, I just honestly forgotten we were hurt at all, but it wouldn't make sense to charge.
It was the adrenaline pumping from getting the kill with your
But
sword.
I gotta say, as long as we're having a short rest, I mean, wow, that was like totally inspiring. Like, stabbing him at the same.
Yeah, no, we were definitely talking about
That was.
We basically did it at the same time.
We like carved his heart out. I mean, wow. I'm just saying. I'm still. It's a little. It's a little tingling. You know, I get the sword tingling with things. It's a little. Still getting used to that, but dang, that it is like there's adrenaline there. I do gotta ask one thing though. As long as we are just having a little short rest, I've been meaning to talk about it ever since, and we just never had a moment. What about that gladiator?
What about him?
Well,
Which gladiator?
the guy we took the card from.
And Cyrilia.
Yeah, who was like, if you take the card from me, I'm going to die. And we're like, great, taking that card. Like, how is that different from the man in the red wastes?
He did not die. He meant going back to Athas, he would die.
Exactly, and he's gonna go back to Athas if we put the card then, or sheath him the card. That's. I'm assuming we've done one of two things. Either we've trapped him in a card eternally, which is even worse. Or at some point, we're going to get all this energy back where it belongs, and he will go back to a gladiator pit and die.
Only if that gladiator pit we took him from still exists and is still in operation.
That's true.
That's all true. And
I
I
have
think
an idea.
he was implying like he would come back. I'm very curious, but let me finish the one thought. He was implying he would come back at exactly the same spot, and that doesn't seem true. 7 days have passed. He'll be in an empty pit. But what's your idea?
My idea is for a new Merrick's enterprise. You buy the gladiator pit, and you convert it into something better, maybe a gambling hall or something, where people can still be
Or simply buy
entertained.
gladiators.
Yes. Because if you gamble on a gladiator, and that gladiator loses, you don't have time to build up allegiance or loyalty or be a fan of a gladiator and bet on him again. He's dead.
I gotta say,
We just buy the gladiators freedom.
Yeah.
And you bring them to Eberron.
I gotta say, this is all adorable. I appreciate it. As a person who runs businesses, I can tell you this place likes gladiators.
Mhm.
We buy this one gladiator place, they're gonna open up another pit tomorrow, I'm guessing somewhere else. I don't think we
Oh,
can
yes,
just
but
with
if you had a thing where
expenditure.
the gladiators could compete for points and would get healed and they would stay alive.
I mean, I love this concept, and
Yeah.
and if we want to get into manipulating the culture of all the planes that we visit, I mean, this is a very interesting concept. I mean, I'm here for stretching our. I mean,
Think
you
of
know,
the popcorn,
I have a new
custard.
idea.
Prime directive.
Yeah.
I'm a Fizzman. Think of Fizzman's
New idea.
custard and
This is
popcorn.
melting
He's
my-
here for this.
My idea with Elminster's idea. Okay, you buy the gladiator pit. They still fight, but you invent a new type because there are no like swords. It's all metal here.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
So you invent a new type of weapon where it's just a clay or wooden rod, and then you add this special type of soft, like you would have in a pillow or something around it, and then they can just
Buffer.
they can
okay,
fight
interesting.
with this,
Alright.
and it would be very entertaining. It's funny.
All right, it is funny. All of these are great ideas, and I appreciate them.
Let's think
I'm
about it
still
later.
just sort of torn on the set. As I said, it's not even the guy; it's the principle.
He's
Like,
trying to-
why is it okay? This guy basically tells us, "You take the card from me, and I'll die." We already just established we wouldn't take the amulet from the old man because he would die, and not immediately, but over time. And as I say, I offered. There was a thing I could have done. I've got these shackles that prevent dimensional travel. It might have worked if he just put those on. He might have been able to stay there
did
and
he
have his
make
own
the
life.
choice
He
to do
said
so?
no. I mean, he not only said no, he said, "I'm going to kill you first."
But let me tell you
So I appreciate that. It just bugs me.
As a
It's been
gladiator.
itching.
he made a decision as a free man.
All right.
I
accept
love
that.
this. I love this philosophy.
Accept that.
While we're wading into the sewers, it seems
I just
appropriate.
have to say though, it's been a long time, and you haven't been around quite as long with these two as I have.
It's true.
But again, it already feels we're the Sunny Bees. It already feels like we're here. But I gotta say, it really. I told you, you had inspired me. Of
course.
You and Mel. The fact that I asked you how we're gonna save this guy, and you said, buy a gladiator business. Just, it really, I'm so glad that I'm rubbing off, is all I can say. Let's go.
So, fast forwarding in time to where we are now. Approaching the sewer entrance, you can see that the bars are about a couple inches apart from each other. One would assume that this is intended to prevent people from going in and out.
Right, because bones won't break these bars.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Safe assumption. How thick are the bars and how old are the bars?
Well, they're not maintained very well, so there's a little bit of rust coating them. Not enough to make them completely structurally unstable, but they do also appear to be about an inch in diameter. So they're not, they're decent size, but not anything like spectacular.
Old men could break them. But we won't do that. We'll just dim door you past them.
Is there a hatch or something, like a lock or a thing that opens up, or are they just straight built in? And
They're built in. This is clearly a way in, but not like the way that the maintenance people would use. Like that's likely going to be way up in the rich area.
All right,
where-
Mystara, you're up.
Okay. I go up and I look in.
It's dark.
It's a weird.
Smells.
It feels a little weird that the snake, our best source of info in town, was like, the easiest way to go in is up by the irrigation system, where there are bars.
Well,
L can, by effort of will, free action, silent, manipulate the pipe smoke, changing its color and luminescence. So I will blow some smoke inside, make it glow. Can I see any ledges to send people to? Or
You can see that there is definitely some ground further in. There is.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would say for a salon, he's just a good businessman because
Yeah,
you
fair
say, hey, we can't get in that way. He's like, well, I mean, if you could, it would be the easiest.
Yeah, I mean, we'll kill him when we're done here. And when I say kill him, I mean we will, buy out his business and
Bankrupt.
crush him and financially. We will kill him
I'll
financially.
go first on this, sir.
Okay. The pipe sends you to that first ledge.
Here we go.
Does he arrive intact?
He does.
I'll cast light off my blade.
That was a question?
Of course.
I mean,
Just want to see if there's anything else.
you may not have realized every time you teleport, what's actually happening is your body is being disintegrated, and then a new body is being created at the location where you're down. I mean, every time you're basically
I
dying.
like my way
will-
better.
I will immediately light on the sword so it's glowing to see what I need to see, and then I will divine sense.
Your divine sense doesn't pick up a whole lot. You do see that there are some dead creatures a little bit further up into the darkness, illuminated the edge of your sword. Horrific-looking beings of insectoid nature, which the corpses are sort of left there.
Not
Freshly. Come in, come in.
Reasonably freshly, and their wounds are black and green with veins
Well, there you
pulsating and poisoned.
Uh-oh.
yeah, sure.
We'll just stay vigilant.
We encountered four-armed insect people in our previous encounter.
This is more of a beast. This is a creature.
Yep.
This isn't the Thry-Cream.
No.
Okay. So, boop, 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 they'll warp in, and I'll walk a little bit ahead, and I'll shine my sword over that so they can see more clearly.
Just as a quick check, also studying the injuries. I mean, there is an obvious conclusion to be drawn here, but just doing a quick
It looks
Arcana and/or
very
medicine.
similar to those that were dealt to the Planar Energy Cooperative.
Okay.
And you also would recognize it as, yes, what you've seen in your very brief stints in a fortress with these guys.
Sure. All right.
Not gonna
carry
bother.
on.
So this is the path of the Eltherian, then.
It's the path of the Eltherian for sure, and quite potentially the same Eltherian. We don't.
And the wounds are relatively fresh.
Yeah, maybe like a day old or something.
So my question is, and I look back at the bars, if we used the mana to manipulate our way in here, how did they get in here?
Maybe through the other way.
Yeah, the entrance from the.
There's always the possibility that they were just in here, came down this corner, killed a bunch of bugs, and oops, dead end. Went back some other way.
Any tracks?
Survival.
Well, I am not range of any sorts, but someone from my long distance past made it so, and I'll add my ancestral recall to the roll. Yoicks. 13.
There are many tracks going all over the
Let
place.
me try.
Okay.
I am also not a ranger, but I've traveled through many, many areas. Perhaps I can do better. No, I cannot.
You've even rolled
Yeah.
lower than I did.
Let me try. Now, I am actually going to burn 2 more hit dice
Okay.
to actually use borrowed knowledge to become proficient in survival, because I am going to draw on my past. No, I'm not going to do that at all. I am just going to impart some knowledge into my brain, and
Yeah,
suddenly
I'm
I
just
know
gonna
Kung Fu.
plug the knowledge into
Yeah,
my head
exactly.
like a normal person.
Not
Look at me, I know Kung
super
Fu.
genius.
Yeah.
All right, but that does give me
All this. Oh, my past
saving throw.
lives.
And I'm just going to ask, do you mind 2 pairs of eyes are better than one? You mind sort of helping me here? Just getting getting assistance. So that's advantage. And a little actually adjust my put on my tracking glasses, so that'll be some guidance.
Give you the pipe to hold.
Oh, thank you. All right. Yeah, that's a 19 on the die, plus a 4 on the guidance die, plus, so 33. Like, I'm just getting a readout on my glasses here.
Yeah, so you find them with the freshest tracks led in the muck and the filth of the sewers and begin to cautiously make your way following. You can see where the scuffle happened with these insectoid creatures and begin to carrion crawlers and begin to mark them back further along. And are you just kind of leading ahead and following up, or what's your tactic here?
I'm just going to say, you know, describe the situation to the kid. I assume I am going to be taking the lead because I am looking.
Yes.
At this
Okay.
point, I got a shield and a sword. I mean, I'm like okay with this thing, but stick close is all I'm saying.
What?
Yeah.
I am also actively dragging the guard and your
Stick
fighter.
close.
Oh, he pushes her aside. Absolutely. No, no.
I'll-
Do I
there's
get the
4 of us.
sense that the direction he's going is the same direction as my...
I mean, you're getting a straight line. He wants to go in a different direction from where the straight line, but the straight line currently takes you to a wall. So
Okay.
Yeah.
But if we go way off track, I was
We'll
like,
let those two take the lead. Elminster and I will take
And-
the rear.
I will note,
Behind
unless you wish me to do otherwise, so far,
Very good, sir.
I dropped invisibility on me so I could chat, but I've been keeping it up on you unless you want to not be invisible. So as long as you want to be invisible, it's still
care.
going.
Alfred, you
I
don't
mean, as I
have
say,
to
if
take
you
until that runs out.
Yeah, you got an hour. So.
Tea, lol, or
All right.
coffee.
Better to not have to cast it again.
Exactly.
So the sludge of the sewer is your only companion, and you trudge alongside it on the stone.
We have
Siding.
3 other.
I've
I've
been
got
on
3.
dates like that.
Following the difficult to see, but not for Merrick's. Boy, that's an image. Okay,
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
that's.
I used to have that little
feels
wand in my
weird
hand.
to
Yeah, I
that,
used to
you
have
know,
that wand in my
yeah.
hand, and now
Yeah.
I mean, it suits you. It's just.
I walk the line.
Yeah.
Man in black.
there you are.
As you continue forward, you find more slain sewer beasts, giant rats, weird, disgusting sludge creatures, just all slain very similarly to the carrion crawlers you saw earlier.
I appreciate that this guy is just going around killing rats in the sewers,
Making
like
it
you
easier
know.
for us to get
Yeah.
But why?
Maybe just being purely hateful, or maybe sucking the life out of things. Like it could be a blade that, in addition to being Rennick, sucks up soul energy. I mean, that's just
And,
a
you
brilliant
have a-
idea.
You're glowing and you have the light of your sword out? Okay.
But
I'm not glowing
covering the
because
rear.
I am invisible.
Oh, that's right. So the only light right now is your sword.
30 feet, yeah.
Okay, when she's invisible, what about the heart? Is its glow still?
No, we just
No.
We go invisible too. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's light bending, so it's
Got it.
Yeah. So then, how far up is Merrick compared to like? Are you using
back
the
to
whole
back.
light?
We're back to back.
Yeah, I don't want to
Okay.
too far away. That's not like I'm being.
Can you see beyond Lowholt's light?
I have 120-foot dark vision.
In
and can
that
see
case-
visible and ethereal objects.
In that case, further up ahead, you can
These
follow.
are good glasses.
They are. You can follow the tracks leading through the sides of the sewers, and you see that part of the stone wall of the sewer there's been a makeshift wooden door placed over top of it, where you can hear muffled voices.
I'll give this
Door up ahead. Shh.
So it's like only like 5 feet from me.
Yeah, just stay close to me, and yeah.
And then those voices hush, and you hear the sound of silent footfalls and little clanging of armor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're invisible too.
We're saying over group chat, so
Of course.
yeah. There was a door. There's someone behind the door. Sounds like they might be arming themselves. Do you want me to have a perception? I got a passive 31.
It seems like they may have noticed you coming
Okay, so we've
with the
been,
big bright light.
yeah. So we've been noticed. Do we want to charge, or do we want to approach closely?
I think if we've been noticed, we should charge.
Okay.
They don't have their armor on yet.
I'm so excited about this. I've never done this before. So yeah, I'm bringing up the little force shield and let's go. And I will throw. I'm not going to throw haste on. We don't know if these people are anything. So
Okay.
but I'm going to charge. I'm going to charge up, get to the door, and be like, right, I am not actually strong. I'm not the kind of person who's going to kick open the door here and look back at Lowholt and be like, "Oh, that felt good, though. Like that was exciting." But maybe you want to do this.
Let's reversal the door open.
All 6 locks undo themselves and the door swings open.
And then the light will shine through with the sword.
And you see a Krynn and a mole and a half giant, like we're waiting right there as the door swings open, and they're kind of astonished. They look up at you.
Oh, hello there.
Die, Templar! And I think we're gonna roll initiative.
Yep.
Well, your advantage gives you an 18.
Oh, I'm liking that advantage.
At least in our Mystara, each have 10. And I rolled a 2. You will all get my aura of acceleration, so I'm going on 15.
So I'm going on 27.
27 for Merrick.
21 for Ominster.
17.
17 for Elise. And for Lowholtz?
15.
15. Well, Merrick, you do get the drop.
All right. Well, I am stepping in with, glowing shield and thundering sword. Question: does thundering sword have a command word to activate the thundering part?
No.
Okay, it just thunders.
It just hits.
I believe that is correct. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to be saying
when you do
cool
successfully
stuff
hit-
or cool
But when you do hit, you have to be like, you've been.
thunderstruck. All right, we should have saved that for when it actually happened.
In the middle of a railroad track.
So let me double check. I think we determined that hypnotic sphere is a 30-foot cube.
Yeah.
So I can definitely get these guys in the back. I think it's probably just that group. These guys all seem like they're sort of.
So what do you see when you go in, though? 'Cause there's all
You can get all the rest
So,
all
yes.
the headband man.
Okay.
As you enter into the room, you can see that there is an eclectic assortment of individuals, a motley crew, as it were.
Thunderstruck.
In the door, there were definitely, you could see a Krynn, a mole, a half giant, and there's a few other types of humans, and there's a dwarf, and there's a half-elf woman who apparently was kind of just behind a table, and she has what appears to be a wand outstretched from behind a bookshelf. And standing at attention at the other side of that table is a knight with a glowing green sword.
Oh shoot! Okay,
all
he's
of
right
armor.
Oh,
Do we have-
so these are the bad guys.
Yeah,
Ah,
there's
right.
one in the back there.
With me in the corner.
Well,
Yeah, in the
we
corner.
don't know.
Which?
Is it?
This
The only one wearing
By the
steel
table,
armor.
by the
This
table, by
corner.
the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't know if it's the same. We don't know if it's the same knight yet. So it could be a person who has a runic sword who's not.
We don't know.
a bad guy. We don't know yet.
And we don't know about her. It could be night after night.
Yeah.
That's right.
See what you're saying there. Okay. So I am going to
Oh, yikes.
what?
Go ahead. The hypnotic pattern, just be careful.
Yeah, no, I just realized that. So I was starting because Loholt was the one who was actually
Well, you stepped
opening
in
the door.
to see that, right?
Yeah, I guess I did. So
You could step out. Call for suspend if you need it.
no, I'm just saying for just a moment.
Yeah, the genius is stumped.
Well, I mean,
I like you.
Does not
Suspend.
dispute- Does not dispense.
suspend.
Who are you including this?
I
I'm going to include our party members. I should
don't
include the
think we
ultimate.
know who. Well, you can't even see the ulterior. I'm guessing.
Okay, well,
You can include the people at the door.
no.
That's probably about it.
Yeah, I'll include us.
Okay, so here's the issue. There's no theory in there. If I can, well, there's the guy with the sword. We do not know whether they are an evil person out to do bad things or a good person who stole the sword.
I'll likely be able to suss that out through conversation.
Exactly.
And they'll know who I am.
So the question is, I could throw on, and hear me out, I could throw on haste. If we think there's going to be trouble, I could try and hypnotic pattern the people in the corner. Either way, there's the chance that the person with the blade will try to counter what I do.
Quickly, Merrick, I can't hold this.
Okay,
You are
should I?
sort of behind the door, but
Yeah, should I? Okay, I got it. Oop. You put this down now. Sorry. Okay, I am going to step back,
Okay, so
breaking line of sight to the person with the runic blade, and I'm going to throw a color spray. Hypnotic pattern.
hypnotic pattern.
Hit
Okay,
these
you can do nothing about it because you can't see.
guys that. So they're gonna all have to make saving throws, and I will draw that off my own hit dice.
The DC is
23.
and that's wisdom.
I'll double check on that. It might
So
be
it's
intelligence.
the five fellows in the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, I just rolled 2 nat 20s.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, maybe they've got really low scores.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're gonna get 2 fails out of that.
Okay, yeah, it's wisdom 23.
Yeah, 2.
All right, so I
Okay,
do
3 fails. No,
Which,
yeah, 3
which
fails.
three
'cause,
fail?
right.
the 3 in the front stare looking at the door, and the 2 in the back will succeed.
Sure.
Because
So
nat 20s.
I'm throwing that in there. So sort of stepping back, colors sprayed.
And as you do, you hear, they've got a defiler!
and then call out, we are not Templars. Hold your positions, and we can talk.
Give me persuasion.
All right. Luckily, he knows not bad at persuasion, and you know who still has insight? Let me think about what they might want to hear. Try 2 possible versions.
Foresight lasts a long time.
It lasts a stupidly long time. It's ridiculous. How is this magic just around? All right.
Just had it be. He's using it as a bookmark.
I know. Okay, so that is a base 17 plus 10, so 27.
Okay. There is some hesitation. I would say that they keep their bone
Yeah.
and carapace weapons brandished,
Fine.
and they continue to stare at you,
Let me
kind of
take
looking
this.
back.
You got
it.
But we will move on to Elminster.
Don't kill anybody.
I use
Stinky.
the thingy. Time stop would take a lot of dice away from me, but would it be useful to you at this time?
I don't think yet. Let me try and parlay with this weed breaker first.
It would let you move in and would let you cast more spells, but it wouldn't let anyone else move in.
Definitely get past the Eltharion. But I think the fact that they look like they're hesitating, let me have a conversation first.
Okay. So
It's an easy test here.
Do you want to move in? Just sort of walk casually in? Or do you want to wait for low hold?
I will use the pipe to wreath myself in smoke, which will conceal the fact that I'm wreathing myself in silver flame.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Just in case.
Protects you from mine, that's always good.
And yeah, all sorts of other things. Cold fire.
Yep.
Is that it for your turn?
I think so.
The soldier with the green sword will...
Oh, I'm looking behind me.
Sure. The soldier with the green sword will position himself 30 feet forward to try and get a better view of through the door.
Straight forward or
As
to the
much
side?
as he can, yeah.
Okay.
So he's not a paladin.
Is that-
he's not walking
that's
up
20.
and over the table.
See,
Right.
barracks.
That's 20 so far. Do they want to go further? That
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
25.
well in there to be able to kind of sword out at the ready, kind of gazing.
So what's he look like? Like again,
You're seeing a
or
so you're seeing a
stash.
You're seeing a figure in sort of dark olive-colored armor, very well made. It would appear. It's been battered a little bit. Like you can see, it's been dinged a little bit. It's got some scorch marks on it, but it looks in pretty good condition still.
All of drab armor. Does he have a little nameplate that says Carlisle or
No.
Carlisle or whatever?
Well, does he have a hi? I'm number 52.
No,
Yeah.
wielding no sash or anything. Wielding a blade of glowing green material, which looks very familiar, and a helm covering their face. And as they look out and they gaze, and you can see them kind of stop as their helmet notices Loholt. And he does nothing else on his turn, other than just sort of stand at the ready, but kind of cock his
The helmet just kind of cocks its head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Elise.
Do you recognize this guy?
I don't
Is
know.
this our dude?
Perhaps we should break.
I was asking Elise.
Different. The sword is very different for both of you. There's not the same sword that you saw at Sigil. Armor is similar, although it's much nicer. It's a lot less. It's a lot less I was gonna say it's like more masterwork armor. Like this is very well crafted armor versus what the other guy
High
had.
level
which was-
Ethereum.
Right, which is where the other guy had more your stock soldier type armor. Like it was good, but it wasn't like it didn't look really.
Well, it's your turn, Elise.
He looks basically right through me to the hold.
Well, you're invisible, right?
Yes.
Then yes.
Do I sense the card on him?
Yes, you do.
Can I sense where it is on him because I'm this close?
It held within his tunic beneath the armor.
This guy.
Yep.
I am going to walk very slowly into the room.
What?
What?
You were so quiet.
I am going to walk very slowly into the room.
Okay.
They can hear me.
Sorry.
And
Boots are made for walking.
There we go.
I am going to go behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And you said to wait, and you said that in the group chat. I'm going to face behind him,
I know, I figured. I just, it's hard to turn things around.
and I am at the ready to, as soon as something happens that I need to pull the tickle and pull the card.
Okay.
Hands under the armor.
Oh.
But that I'm going to.
You're gonna hold off there. Okay. The rest of the soldiers in this room, kind of, you see them look towards the woman in the corner with the wand pointing out towards the door, and she is looking at the soldier with the green blade, and they all ready actions. Which takes us to Loholt.
I'll say in Krymerish. Weavebreaker, Eltherian, or Rennick Knight.
In Krymerish, back to. I am of Adira's Aether Guard.
Sweet!
So Lohol will yell out, "Stop fighting!"
Right?
Well, you guys would know this too.
I mean,
it's
as soon as I
Krymerish.
hear that.
It was in Krymerish.
Yeah, it's true. I don't speak
Okay,
Krymerish.
so then, Lohol will then. I've only got one word left to say. He'll just like grab Elminster's arm through the smoke and be like, "Adira."
All right.
That's all you can say.
Yeah, good enough. Stand down.
Do you have group chat? You could say it in our heads. Okay.
Oh, he says it out loud. He's not going to think about the group chat.
I like how Loholt has that, and he never uses it.
I do not know what this is, but I have heard you say the name a couple of times in the last few days. So I just.
We will not fight you.
Yeah, I would certainly power down my shield and sort of take a
In
down position.
common tongue, the soldier turns to the rest of them. They are from where I am from. They're looking for me. That is why they are here. Keep your weapons trained, but do not be hostile towards them.
And I'll end the hypnotic pattern.
Thank you. I'll lead them in, so that I'm the first one. Sure. Not knowing not knowing Elise is there. I'll come in and look around, see them all.
Yeah, they look haggard, worn, very, very low amounts of capabilities, but the woman keeps her wand out in her hand but approaches you and you recognize her features to be that of a half-elf.
You don't need to do this. There will be no...
You come from the same land as Fandar.
The land of ice.
I am Tharia of the Veiled Alliance.
The what alliance? The Veiled
The
Alliance.
Veiled Alliance.
You
We
also.
stand against the Sorcerer Kings.
The Veiled Alliance is an alliance here,
Indeed.
Athas.
Yes.
Indeed, I do come from the far-off land where Fandar comes from. But excuse my rudeness as I kind of just turn away from her and look over to Theron. You spoke
Yeah,
of
he does remove the helmet, revealing a long, grown over goatee and matted hair down the sides.
You know what you hold within your...
I'm afraid I am actually rather ignorant on its power, but I can tell it is of great significance, and it is what brought me here to aid in these people. There
Gonna
is,
overthrow a sorcerer king?
there is great evil in this land. It is the worst case scenario that those who have taken up this blade back where we come from, many of them fought against this sort of oppression and tyranny. And here it is in full effect.
Okay. I'm saying, honestly, I'm just saying it. Okay, so the way I see this kid, this is our gladiator conversation we just had earlier.
I know.
This guy has just shown up and he's helping these guys, and if we take him away, because don't get me wrong, we don't want to do anything bad to you, but that thing of power,
Likewise.
that thing of power you're carrying, there is a chance it could suck you inside of it. And
That would be most unwelcome.
yeah, exactly. We get that. And so that's the thing. Do we have
Perhaps we
to?
should use different verbiage than suck you inside of it.
I mean, that's kind of what it
Sounds-
does.
It does
I
gross
say in
out
my head,
rather
send you home,
horrific.
send you home.
maybe potentially send you home.
Well, in the long run.
We don't really know. We just
Just here's the place.
we're assuming it's sending home. I'm saying
Okay.
it didn't. I remember to
All right.
use the thing.
With all due respect, I cannot return home while these people are in peril.
Okay, here's the thing. Do you know your home's in peril?
I did not know that.
So here's the issue. Everything is in peril. The lunar hordes are attacking your world. My world, because I'm from a different world, it's getting all the energy.
He raises
sucked
a hand as some of the other people start to look a little.
out. Don't worry, I'm not taking him away.
Perhaps we should have this conversation in a more private.
Sitting at the table drinking?
Correct.
Ah, excellent.
All right, so we're all.
Please, bring us the decanter.
The rest of you,
We're doing this now, then?
head out into the sewers and make sure.
You need some.
No. Oh, all right. Yes. Okay. I was going to pour out from my decanter of endless water.
Yeah.
For
Please
water.
allow us.
The people all
I
stare intently.
I'm
And
gonna-
No, don't try and take it.
I think actually, don't forget, last time we were on Athas, I'm pulling out the alchemy jug and I'm offering lemonade.
I missed it.
everyone's the guards really start to be lowering now as people kind of just keep their weapons.
So,
aside.
Yeah, we're definitely like handing out cups.
thank you.
All right.
Short arms.
Thank you. Thank you. But big heart.
Cheers, companions.
Here's to Adira.
Here's to a deal.
Madeira.
Okay, before we get to that though, because we got to know more about that.
Right. So
But-
he eventually they pass out the drinks to all of the various rebellion of the Veiled Alliance, and they all mill about, do their thing. A couple of them head out and scour around to make sure nothing else is going on outside. While
I'll give some basic healing potions to some of them as well.
okay, I mean at this point you might as well be gods to them. As you all sit down at the table and
Give out some bear bars too. You know what I mean?
Thoria the half elf, as well as Fandar the Aether Guard, sit.
Oh, I forgot I was invisible, so they see a little cup right.
That's right.
Maybe take it off.
Yeah, everyone.
Okay, and then I appear.
So I really want to hear what this Aether Guard business is about, but just finishing the conversation. All of our worlds are in peril. We need that card you have found to protect all of them. And we believe, or hope, that when that is done, you will be restored to Imaria. But we don't know that. We do know if we take that card, which at some point we must do to save everything, you will be drawn within it. We actually don't know what the experience is like. Like I say, you will be preserved, and we believe we will be able to get you out. However, so this is my point. We've got to do that for the greater good. Is there, and I hate that. I hate saying that. I hate it.
There are many
Am I
in the
wrong?
Empire.
Oh, you are right. I
And
hate the
I
phrase.
hate it. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry I even said it. But I mean, it is the fact all our worlds are in peril, and that card is the thing that can save Imaria and here from something even worse. But is there a specific thing you were hoping to accomplish, like, soonish, that we could help you with before we have to ask you to make that sacrifice?
He gestures to the table where you can see a map of what must be Uruk. There are several points marked staging operation, staging point, and you can see different sewer entrances and exits and various other things like that.
Oh, great. This reminds me of the old days trying to take the Empire down.
And I am willing to give this. And he holds up the decanter he's been filling everything. to you.
It is, by
In
the way,
return.
completely bottomless. Like, you can keep pointing.
Yeah.
It might just be like, great, thanks, a thing of water.
No.
It is endless water.
Such a gift would benefit the Veiled Alliance greatly. However, if what you say is true, then there is difficult decisions to be made.
Yes.
For we were on the cusp of launching our full takeover of Uruk.
Can we help you do that? I mean, if you can do it like tomorrow or tonight,
Lord just goes,
and I mean,
"Couldn't you just simply do what you did last time and throw a bunch of meteorites at the castle and end it?"
And what then?
what of all
Once
the people who were?
Hamanu is down, we'll need to move to the next city, and the next until all 7 of them are free, like Tyr. The Sorcerer Kings are not simply going to roll over and accept defeat if we take another one of them out. They're
That's-
all going to need the attention, and only I, and this steel that I have brought with me.
This cannot
Why-
remain in this world. You are unbalanced.
It is the only thing that can save these people.
Why do you not? Okay. If we take the card and you are not here, whom would you give that blade to here to continue? And I look pointedly down the table at her.
No, not her.
I cannot give it to Thania, for she is of the mages. Not a defiler like the sorcerers, but one who uses their own energy to cast.
Right. What about that guy over there, pointing to the thread crane? He seems like he's pretty good with his hands. All 4 of them.
I could pass on the blade and the knowledge, but I don't have the necessary things to properly give them the trials. It would but be wielding a blade with no ability to use it.
What's an Aether Guard?
The Aether Guard are a faction of weave-breakers who have been formed to maintain balance between those who have magic and would oppress with it and those who have magic and would be peaceful with it. We operate out of the free city of Locke on Chrymeris, where we effectively ensure that certain spells and magical effects are treated with the reverence that they should deserve.
You mentioned Adira.
She's the founder of the entire faction, and she has brought us a new way to look at our what we thought to be a curse.
How's she doing?
Where is she now?
We used to be friends.
Yes, I recognize you from the stories in our tomes, but she is currently unknown. Last I checked, she went off in search of some sort of assistance to aid in the Moonfire conflagration, and we have yet to know of what has become of her.
So you know about the Moonfire conflagration. Well, actually, that was the previous one. We're saying that's happening again right now.
Yeah.
Your people need you as well.
There is very little things one Weavebreaker can do to aid the fight in Imaria against the lunar hordes, but here I am the balance between all that these people stand for and the evil that oppresses them.
Let's just put this straight on the table. We are going to take that card. We have to, for all of these worlds, including this one. Is there a way? I would rather have you choose to give us the card and come with us, at least in card form. Is there anything we can do because if we gotta take it by force, I'm sorry, we gotta take it by force. Because
You would try.
Fate of Worlds, yeah, we would. Trust me.
We would.
We would
and
take
we
it.
would succeed.
You've read those stories in your storybook. Trust me.
Eberron just goes.
But I don't
Against the
want. That's not
There's a
what we
whole
want.
bunch of various people all kind of with...
You're adorable. I love you kids. But I'm just saying, we're taking that card, but we would rather have you, we would rather do something that is going to help as many people as possible.
And what am I supposed to tell these people? That I'm
Is there-
abandoning them?
Is there
That
any
the
way?
only hope they've had in
Listen.
all of their generations
Wait,
is
wait.
up and left?
Hang on.
We got this.
Is there any way the Rennick blade can block him being sucked into the card?
That I love that, because I was going to try the dimensional shackles, but maybe if we, you're not an artificer, are you? I'm used to working with another artificer. No,
No, but I do know a lot about
you know a
science.
lot about science. Hang on.
Well, the
This
High
is-
Artificer of the Aether Guard. Now that's
Yeah,
a very
now-
smart person.
Yes, she is. And so here's the thing. I have, which is interesting, put something out on the table, which is a set of shackles. These are designed to prevent planar travel. And we can take the chain off. I mean, it doesn't have to be, The problem is they are arcane, which I assume means you wouldn't be able to wear them. I'm like, if I chop the chain off and stuck these on you,
They will go away if he's.
but the rennick would go away. And we need the rennick to do your thing. But
No, the rennick won't. Oh, I don't know this.
You can create these demi-planes. Is it possible that the cards themselves are demi-planes?
oh yeah, I think that's a very, very likely possibility. Yes.
So what if we went into one of your demi-planes? Maybe it will be a pocket in which this can exist.
I still think this rennick idea
has
is
no idea what he's talking about.
no.
Just trying to
That's
it would be a
adorable.
demi-plane within a demi-plane.
That's a very educated guess. But I do think.
been educated.
Wait.
Wait, Artificer, I've seen you take things.
Yeah.
And I've seen you take objects and take your own armor and then craft it into other things.
Yes.
Can you not take this blade
That is-
and make it into maybe 100 little knives?
That is okay. So there's two possibilities here on the table.
Elminster just pulls his book.
That is exactly what that is.
So-
but that would still, unfortunately, take him off the board, and we want to try and keep him. He's not.
Not if we give him a means of,
Oh,
or
I like where you're thinking here. Okay, so let's put a couple things on the table.
or I dispel it.
Right. So Al has one idea, which is we teleport you into a demiplane as we suggested, that is warded against teleportation, get the card, and then he lets you go out.
I have to send you away with the card before I dispel this.
So that would be one possibility. Possibility two, try and basically reinforce the dimensional shackles I'm using with Rennick in order to make them perform their function, but with, working with the Rennick. So basically, again, we prevent you from being teleported. Or what Elise just suggested, which is we could turn that sword of yours into many little swords if that would help the people at all.
You arm everybody in the resistance with a little knife and then they can fight against magic.
They may not be able to absorb the spells, but the withering capabilities of the steel, the arthritic thing, might actually give them a bit of an edge.
It would be a help, but compared to having a full Aether Guard,
Well, there's three possibilities on the table for you. Arm a group, try and make anchor that will protect you from being taken into the card, or demiplane.
The way that you talked about this blade sucking magic from the world did not suck the magic from the manacles.
That's what I'm saying. On its own, it absolutely would.
There is
That's
another
why
problem.
the only way to make that work
What is
would
the
be
other
to
problem?
somehow fuse.
Merrick, what is the
The
other?
other problem is that so far everything, save for a little bit of blood, in which I would tend to argue even the blood is eventually to decay its original form and just become liquid. Even the little shards of the blade would suck back into the card. Everything goes into the card. So if we spend all this time arming this troop and then all these little wisps of blade disappear into the card,
Okay.
it's all for naught.
So that makes sense. So cross that off the table. We are not arming the people. The question is if we can, and you're right, the reason I'm not just putting these shackles on him is because the Rennick would counter it. But if we can, I worked with Adira. One of the first things we did together was we created Adira's tier. And we did that by combining arcane magic and Rennick. And I'm saying if I could draw on that experience to make shackles that combine arcane magic and Rennick, then you would remain, the card wouldn't be able to take you away. And you would remain with your blade.
But what will happen with the card? You see, here's the problem.
We
The
can't-
balance of the universe is that it appears that multiple worlds have infested other worlds when the cards hit them.
Right.
Teleported them into various states of being.
Right.
The total balance to date has been we've received every card and removed the influence of that world on another world. This would be an imbalanced act.
All right, well, what we know is the cards hold energy. So this is one where I'm going to actually turn to Elminster, and we are two incredibly proficient arcanists, and basically say, unfortunately, we can't really use detect magic without, I'm going to use a detect magic even, I'll take another hit die on it.
Okay.
So here is, here's a card. Mm-hmm. What we're basically saying, and we can look at a couple of the others, The card contains an infusion of energy tied to a plane. It also appears to... Can I see Soth? Our buddy on the skull card?
Do not bring him out.
I'm going to bring him out. And I'm not
don't have to
drawing
do
the
that.
card.
Has anyone... Soth gave you the card freely.
No, I did it out of his hand.
Has anyone ever given us the card freely?
Yeah, this guy.
The ruined one.
Yeah.
Yes, his father did.
Old man will call him.
He's my father,
okay.
so I don't know.
So, I mean, we have two cards to compare. This one has been drained a little. This one has not. We know they both have people in them. The question is, my hypothesis is that the primary thing within the card is the planar energy and that the person is incidental. That is my hypothesis. My question then is, with our two, again, arcanically great minds, on this subject from two different, I'm coming at it from Artifice, he's coming at it from the Weave. We have the cards to study. Can we try and confirm that hypothesis? Do we really think that what's important in this is the person, or do we think the power was there and the person is incidental?
I have a follow-up question. Depending on this answer, but my follow-up question is, if the person does not get sucked into the card right now, but we have the card, I understand it will create an imbalance. However, we know where he is. I have a power where I can name anybody's name
Yes, you do.
and pull them to me, so I can then go, once everything is cured, I go to Imaria,
Yeah.
and I will pull him to Imaria. He will be where he needs to be, to restoring balance to the universe, the multiverse.
And
How
my
can you
hope-
be sure that when everything is fixed, the veil will allow you to do so?
We can't.
I have this power, it works.
It works
Never
now.
gated anyone from Imaria before.
Well, then this is what I'll do. I will then gate him somewhere else where we know it will work.
Respectfully, I would rather you not be flinging me around with spells.
Look,
It's
you have been taught by a very powerful Weave Breaker.
Indeed.
A person with morals that understands what it takes
And a
to
code
do
of
what's
honor
right
we all
to save
fight.
the land. You know this. What do you think Adira would say to you right now if she were here?
It is the question of one world versus all worlds. But
The needs of the many.
I'm still saying what I think on this is that what we'll find, my guess is that the person is the equivalent. If these have roughly an amount of
We can
power
try
equal
it.
to 25, I'm guessing that it's like we lose a charge. We've already lost a charge.
We can try it, but... And he says, but. And then he just stops talking for a second because he switches to his head. Clearly, he's like, but. And then in the tattoo you hear, it doesn't matter anyway because we'll have the card.
Yeah.
We can always return him here. As long as it doesn't unbalance this world.
I could plane shift him back.
So Loholt's taking this very
But-
seriously.
I understand.
The Rennick sword should be held by someone else during this, so it.
And then Lohol, you see Lohol like visibly slam his hand on the table, actually angry for the first time in a long time. And he sits back and he goes, when Rennick Steel was introduced to Imaria, it changed the very fabric of our world. And it almost wiped out entire races, destroyed magic, and unbalanced this world. This resistance has been fighting for how long? Eons. If we introduce Rennick Steel to this world, it might befall the same fate, which is why we never let you take Rennick back. Which
That
is why
is-
you shouldn't.
Yeah. No, I'm
So if I send the
I back
Rennick,
off.
if I send the Rennick sword to a demiplane, nobody has it, and I leave the decanter of endless water so they can go on drinking while they fight with conventional methods.
So while he's dragging his hand back, you know that you can see through his like demeanor shift is that he is reliving the battles and watching the destruction of his family line, which you saw the vision of the destruction of elves. Like he's basically saying we are potentially destabilizing this world to such a degree.
Merrick puts his hand on
yeah.
yours, and I mean, but I mean, it's like, wow, I mean, it is like, oh, had not considered that. You're absolutely right, and just looking back, you know what he's saying.
This is how Bravenska started,
Is this really?
I am not Bravenska.
and there were many upon his guard that were not Bravenska either, but they did his bidding. When you have the power of this place, what do you do next? Start your own Iltherian guard.
I understand what you are saying, and I know that
Power is tempting. Power is corrupting. And I've spent my life resisting it. After defeating it.
True honor would dictate that I go with you to save all that is in peril. But then what do I tell the Veiled Alliance? That their only source of hope and bravery has left them, abandoned them.
Tell them that
Break them.
Tell them that you will be back. Give them this decanter of endless water. When we return you with weapons.
Can you be sure you can return me?
There are
Can you
no
be sure they will still be here when I come
There
back?
are no
Not,
certainties in life.
but this is what we can do. The way that you win wars is through money, through food and water, through outliving everybody that is your opponent. We can give you a resource, an endless resource that will strengthen your troops. We can also buy you
Two.
metal
Pulls out his-
weapons.
Thania, at this point, the half-elf woman, does kind of place her hand on the table, similarly to you. I can't say I understand everything that you are all saying.
Alert feet, just in case
Yeah.
he's trying to do anything.
But if what you're saying is true, that you can provide us with clean, drinkable water,
And this,
metal,
I will
steel,
pull out my will the jewels be worth
Jewels
anything?
aren't really
here?
going to be
Fine.
the thing, but I will pull out ingots of steel because I have that.
I also have on me that I don't use right now, and so it's fine. A battle axe, a regular battle axe, a warhammer, knives.
I'd say
if I understand this correctly, what you're saying is what has happened to our world is likely to occur elsewhere,
Everywhere.
to many other places.
even worse.
Then it is not of the Veiled Alliance to allow such things to happen.
Let us take, and I'm sad because I'm going to lose my foresight. Let us take one night to go through what we can. As I say, I can produce a certain number of weapons for you. We can see what other resources we can give you. We can offer advice, strategically. I'm just saying, we have a guy who's fought, two people.
He knows the guy.
Fought a lot of wars. We are not just going to take the card to go. We will do as much as we can for you tonight, but then we have to ask you in the morning to come with us.
If you can give these people enough salvation that my parting them will not leave them in a state of reckless hope, of despair, then I think we can come to an agreement.
The wizard.
The
They
half-elf, yes.
Does she seem emancipated, weakened from her preservation magic?
Yes. She also looks malnourished.
I will go over and I'll hold a little vial with this vibrant, swirling galactic liquid and say, I've been saving this a whole week, mind you. Drink this. And I'll give her my veil water.
And she takes it and then looks over at Fandor and she does so, and then yeah, there's this surge of energy. She's
Damn it, there goes my veil water.
Okay. Just if we are switching into, so to speak, montage mode, both of us had decanters of endless water. So we've got 2 decanters of endless water. I can make a cauldron of plenty. It means basically over time, the thing is with my sort of portable forge, I can only have 2 items at once. It means I won't be able to use it. I think it's reasonable to think that over time I could replenish that whatever, but I mean, I probably won't be able to use it for the next, whatever comes next. But I'm willing to do that to sort of give them, so they will have a cauldron of plenty, which allows them with the decanter to basically, it gives them almost endless food and water.
Endless food and water.
And again, it's only 1, but it's more than they have.
that's
So
substantial.
yeah.
Throw in a couple scrolls of
Right.
turtle soup.
2 antitoxins, 2
So-
basic heals,
Over.
a couple of reversals, and
Yeah.
a partridge in a pear tree.
So basically that we can do easily. We've got decanters, we've got things. I'm certainly happy to spend a long rest again I can produce tools, I can produce some basic materials, basically making whatever as an amazing master artificer with some creation and fabricate stuff going on, sort of tried to be like, what's the most efficient metal? Do we make them arrowheads? Do we, but having a montage of us sort of doing as much as he can. I don't know if you can work with the wizard, teach her some things, or...
Well, I'm going to pull out my purse of heavy with mixed coins.
Yep.
And just dump it on the table. Yours. I have a spare ever-smoking pipe.
Yeah, you do.
Wow.
I remember that.
That's going to be a lot of training. She and I are going to be like doing the town.
I love that the two of you, while Merrick's is hammering out weapons, you're teaching her how to use an ever-smoking pipe.
I will
Dimension door in and out is very good for guerrilla fighting.
So, I always load it with cherry Borgon Riff myself, but
I'm gonna take whatever soldiers in there and teach them some combat maneuvers and
yeah, they're mostly like they're not bad. You can tell they've been trained. They're
but
just
also
not
it's like my bardic inspiration to build them morale up, saying that this is going to change the tide of the fight for them.
I can help.
boy, is
I
this
have
gonna
my own
help.
fighting maneuvers, and I know a lot of different maneuvers that deal extra reach with their weapons, extra damage with their weapons, ways to get advantage.
I'll kick Elise's ass just for good measure.
No, you will not.
She kicked my ass.
I do have to ask, this is just a personal thing. Like, if you guys take over Derek, are you gonna end the gladiator combat, or maybe at least make it non-lethal?
Oh, of course. It
Okay,
would
good.
become more
Two
of
birds,
a-
one stone.
more
Yeah,
of an entertainment.
they're going to need the fighting people if they take over the next
That's
sorcerer.
exactly it.
They want to waste them in the...
We
So
all
all I'm saying, yeah,
a system similar to Tyr.
perfect. Love it.
Our people in the inside of the Templars will be, in exchange for assisting us, they will be put in charge of the town, or the city, and then from there we will slowly work our way to take over everything else.
I like this plan.
I like
Excited to
it.
be a part of it.
Yeah.
Smell time.
The Veiled
Change the
Alliance
world.
is forever in your debt, strangers. And while it is not great for us that you are taking the champion with you, but everything else you've given us in exchange more than makes up for it.
And should you need to call in future,
I do not understand what this is.
I will say
you
to
touch it, you read the name on it, and I may hear you, and I may come. No promises.
I guess I shall have to learn to read.
Ah, yeah.
I'm actually, well, here, try this. I've been working on this. This is a burner spell phone. Here's how it works. It's really simple. You don't need to read. If you want to try and give me a call, you just drop it into a fire, and it burns.
That we can do. So that seems very
Only
simple.
works once, so save it for a really special occasion. But there you go.
So Fandor eventually rises, places his helmet on his head, stands at the ready, sheathes his sword, reaches out.
and before he pulls it out, I will say to him, and under no circumstances will you bring that steel here again.
I fail to see how I would be able to do so anyway.
He didn't choose it.
Little old is, like I said, this is his past, right? Like, he's seen what it does.
But then promise me, sir, that if we should ever meet back on the fields of Imaria, that you ally yourself politically with the Aether God. We could sorely use your approval publicly.
There is a council. The only card I ever got this entire season.
And does he go into it?
It's your guy.
He gets sucked into it. The knight.
What's the power?
As an action, you can throw it into an unoccupied space on the ground within 60 feet of yourself, whereupon the card will summon forth the knight within
Okay, let's just get him right back. Hey.
for up to 1 minute or until you break the effect, whereupon it turns back
I just
to a
got the
card.
chills. That can be useful later.
And he's like, hey, welcome back.
You're right. Go ahead.
If we make a magic sucking knight, here we go.
Okay, does he have a relationship with her? Like, can we call him back for a minute to give her a kiss and then go
I mean,
again?
it's more of like it's more of
working
the
together. Why
spirit
does it-
of
Yeah, yeah.
So,
actually.
Okay. Just checking.
My trust.
Because, I mean, it would make a difference in her reaction.
In a similar way that when you use the ruin card, it caused like a vestige of the Lord of Blades.
All right. By the way, friends, apologies for my outburst.
You were right. I wasn't
right.
thinking.
You're right.
You're right.
You know this better than we do. This is your world, and you don't want to see.
This is what we're trying to stop across all the worlds.
Excellent.
This is what the Sunny Bees are.
All hail the champions of the Veiled Alliance. And everyone raises a glass full of water, sloshing it everywhere. Then they're kind of like panicking for a moment, then remembering they don't have to worry about that, and then they raise it up again.
Here's the problem.
All right, Mystara.
A glass of water and a
We should
bowl
get the
of
sigil and go back.
laserless stew.
Do we sigil or Imaria?
Oh, well, yes.
Let's say all of
You
it.
want to check
Why? We need to find the cards.
You got all the ones that you currently had access to.
I am aware, but there are.
You also were going to try and restore your memories with.
What would you like to do? I believe Primaris has a solution. If Stalagrantis has responded to them, we could go back to Imaria, to the Dream of the Blue Veil. There, you could be interviewed by the Chronomancers of Kronos. They have extreme abilities to not invade your mind, but to read your past. From there, they may be able to witness what you cannot remember, but is still locked within your mind. The other option is we've received all of the cards that we know about. Go back to Sigil and try and see if there are more things to decipher. But
Was there not a waiting for Thelagrant? Was Chimeras not?
That's what we got to find out.
give me a moment. Well, we know we can. The problem is, Chimeras did state that he could not get us out.
He could not. I have 5 plane shift scrolls. I have a gate.
They do not work within the veil. Or at least we don't know.
Do they not?
There is one way to find out.
Yeah.
All right, so I will just try to commune with Chimeras. Chimeras, can you hear me?
Yes. Alagrantis is ready if you are.
Thank you. We have nowhere to go. This is one of a few options. We will be there soon.
Very well.
This shouldn't take long, and it just seems like it will give us information. Your card suggested to you that going to Imaria was important.
It did.
Do you wish to read one more? Or?
But did it suggest that we went to Imaria then? Or Imaria eventually? Or did it have just to do
You're
with
there.
Inode and
right.
his connection to Imaria? You connected with Imaria?
We had 2 options ahead of us, both of which are equally possible.
With this mind
I'm a deathless
reading,
archmage, and it's still making my head.
I guess I'll
hurt, all
cut
these choices.
will the mind reading go beyond that one day?
No.
Because I cannot go back there again. I cannot go back there again.
Elise, you will not be aware of the memories that they are seeing, so you will not experience it.
I don't care if I am not aware of the memories.
I will make sure that
I don't want anybody knowing.
I will make sure the Chronomancers do not invade your past.
How?
It all depends on which one I
get you there.
to.
How do I know they won't take memories from 20, 30 years ago? How do I know that that won't be used against me when I have successfully escaped my own life? There is somebody who is looking for me, somebody very dangerous.
Can I use my psionics to protect her mind if I'm with her?
I agree. And 1 second. I will access some time, but I will use augury points to cast augury.
Okay.
And the question I wish to ask Fate is, if we use this method to gain the information, will the Chronomancers give us their word to not invade further, weal or woe?
Wheel.
I'm very confident
That they will give their word.
that they will live up to their word.
Interesting choice of words.
Yeah,
but
right.
It's an interesting.
You do get the feeling that. Yeah.
If I ask for their word, they will not go past the point in time.
Let the cards decide, but I will say If
One.
they...
2,
This is how you cut cards?
4. Inelday, Alinda, Maple, Melf.
I will do this reading. If it points me to do this, I will do this. If this reading leads to her finding me, I will destroy all of them.
If this leads to her finding you, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Well. Go! I need a drink. Holy
What do we got
Okay, what
for
do we
people
got?
across the table?
Yeah.
Oh,
Balanced emotions, right side up. Confidence, presented confidently. With leadership. The lion. Oh, this is
Tiger.
the tiger, not the lion. Don't know what that means in your context, but with leadership, all right side up. I will say that to me, this seems pretty positive to do it. Perhaps if I have my emotions calmed, I can protect. Right? You will have to.
Of course.
I can
We'll have to do this
protect
together.
my memories from my distant past. And with your leadership telling me that this is the right thing to do, I will do it.
You can protect her for extra measure, and I will keep her emotions
I
calm.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
I feel,
We'll be there for you.
yes, we need to be.
This we swear.
If she finds me, I will die.
No, we will destroy her.
If she finds me, she will get this and many more will as well.
She will not get this.
Not on our watch.
We
No,
will not allow that to
we
happen.
will not allow that to happen.
I'm just saying,
Blue Veil.
I've seen what you've seen. I know who she is. I will not allow that to happen.
Okay.
Mister?
Ready? I cast Dream of the Blue Veil, 7th level. I take the hit dice.
Very good. You all fall into a state of unconsciousness in the night safe quarters you've been provided by the Veiled Alliance, who at this point probably are the most stalwart allies you could ever find in the multiverse. They are.
So they give us a cozy quarter.
They give you the best quarters they can find beneath the city.
Can I ask one favor?
Yes.
I can, produce things. In addition to making weapons, can I have given them Solar Bastion badges?
Oh, sure, of course. They're not going to change their name if they're.
No, of course. I'm not asking them to, but we're not changing
No,
them.
it could be
good
the
luck
Veil
for-
Bastion.
It's just part of
Bastion of the Veil.
And I mean, I don't have to
Solar
make
Veil.
it for everyone, but at least for the leader, just bear this in memory of
The sect, the Bastion of the Solar Veil.
exactly.
There we go.
Of the
Yeah.
All right, Ben.
You dream of
Sunny beams.
Imaria, but the dream is twisted like a nightmare, as it would disappear as though the energies are polluting that which you normally travel through. You again see the dark rider, the woman with the red hair, flaming, magma tears pouring down her face as she orders hordes of devils and legions.
The light of Cranberries will shine.
There goes the neighborhood.
A saffron glow and ember light pulls you deeper as you all awaken within the office that has now grown to be more of a cubicle, or shrunk, I should say, of Chrymaris, who is more the size of a kobold at this point. He's just
He's shrinking.
diminutive with this kind of tattered wings lopsided on his side.
But he's also kind of adorable. I gotta get to
Yeah.
that.
Hi, big
Also,
boy.
Here, this is the whole in the it's the ooze. He's in the ooze.
Who heard you missed us? Well, we're back.
Also, if you've seen Maple, we need to have words with them.
Yeah.
Thank be to all that is that you are as stubborn as you are, mage. Lord, the wielder of Sapphire has been called. They are ready.
Are we going to Dronos?
Yes.
Are you okay there, kid? You're tiny.
Yeah, do
I've
going on?
been fighting the fight in the Vale for a long time now. This Mephistopheles is eternal in his torment of us.
does mass heal work on you?
It certainly wouldn't hurt.
Okay, he pulls it. Element.
But hold on one moment. Before you do so, do you still have a teleport or a plane shift ready?
Mm-hmm.
And can you return here once you've done so?
Mm-hmm.
The bottom of Sea of Oglu. At the very bottom of it. Place yourself there and cast your spell before returning.
Cast the teleport.
The mass heal.
The mass
Mass
heal.
heal. Oh, okay. All right, I can do that.
Do you need me to go with you?
No, it's okay.
Wait.
I can do 7 done.
Silver fire.
Wait. As you swing the silver fire, I'll hold Viperfang out for him to grab it.
Now,
Okay.
And
So-
I'm going to just discharge my 3rd level exalted ability, weakening the artifact by a level, making myself weaker, to grant him power.
very good. You appear in a beautiful palace of amber coral where there are various Kuotoa moving about, praising the great dragon. Beneath you is the closed eye, amber scale, the eye itself the size of a hut of Selune beneath the coral palace. And you can see that the eye is, of course, attached to the body of a dragon that exceeds the size of, extending out into what you saw of a Chardalon. As you channel the energy into the body, and you see the scales that had grown kind of flaked and crusted begin to show a semblance of life back into them when you then return yourself.
I will give my 13th to 17th level power on artifact to them and remove it from my repertoire.
And as you do, you are once again in the Amber Palace with people dancing and cheering and plates of various foodstuffs being passed around. I thank you dearly.
That's the Elminster I've been reading about in these books, I gotta say.
Welcome once again to the Amber Palace. You may now go to Kronos, or if you prefer, I may bring them here. It is dependent on whether we wish to use the energy of Thalagratis or not, and he would prefer we didn't, though we'll not say no.
Bring them here.
Is Maple around? How's that work out for you?
Maple is doing quite well. They have an interesting amount of knowledge about Mephistopheles' army that we've been putting to good use.
Okay, good.
Very well. The clawed hands outstretched. The gate room opens once again, and out steps a two-tailed Arctic fox wielding a blade of sapphire crystal. Hello. I have been sent by Thalegrantus for a task. If I may, time is pressing. It would be good to get it done as fast as possible, for I have many places to be, and many wens to exact my force.
Thank you. This is the person that needs to be spoken to. Elise? Somebody from Kronos.
You are the one whose memories must be restored, yes?
And you are?
I am Infinite Council member Eke.
I am Elise. What are you going to do to me?
I am going to... Yes.
It's been a while. You remember us?
Oh, yeah, you...
Yes, yes.
I wanted to...
I tried to block those memories.
Yeah, here.
Yeah,
With
A
your
lot of
sister.
things
Yeah,
are falling
I
on
know.
me.
but aren't we worth remembering?
Well, that remains to be seen.
I
Okay.
got something. I made a couple copies here. Could you just give this to your sister next time you see her?
I need to tell her I'm not her messenger boy.
Oh, wait.
I
Sorry
keep
about that.
saying it, and yet here we are again.
I have a strong intuition that she does not care and she really wants it.
That does seem like her.
Sorry. Okay.
I am going to reach into your mind, and I'm going to pluck the strings that have been altered by whatever dark force has invaded itself.
Okay. I must ask you to give us your word that you will not reach beyond that.
I have no reason to do anything but what I have been instructed by Thalagrantis. I am needed on the front against the legions of Mephistopheles.
Here's the problem. I say in our... This seems to be a friend of yours.
Yeah, oh yeah, we know this guy.
How do you know this one?
We have had a little sort of bump on our way back to
Out of Chronos.
out of Kronos. Check that out in the bonus episode of Destiny of Worlds, everybody. Anyhow, they helped us get back to where we belong.
I see.
So because this seems to be a friend of yours, I just made a solemn vow that if he invades more than beyond, I would have to kill him.
Understood.
And I will.
You're a friend of mine too, so and you're frankly more of a friend of mine than he is. He's just an acquaintance, really. So trust me, I got your back on this if it comes to it.
Okay. That was all in the tattoo.
Yes, yeah. The wide
Okay.
open four-way.
Do what you will, not beyond. How many days has it been? However many days it's been.
I shall return to the state when we noticed the problem and work backwards until I find the solution. That which has altered your memories will be revealed to us.
Okay, what do I need to do?
Find a calming place, center your mind, focus on the place and the when.
Calm emotions.
Calming place. Okay, thank you.
Find
Your sonic shielding.
and then we will lead you. Sorry, I was just trying to do it.
It will not hurt a bit, though it will feel very strange. And the fox humanoid's claws just lightly tap against your head as his eyes sort of roll back. Here within Chrymeris's palace, reaching up, a projection is displayed out.
A Floholt's face going.
Exactly.
And then it rewinds.
And it's like,
That is my calming place.
oh yes.
Surely that's where.
Let's take him out. Let's go.
Surely that's worth inspiration.
Yeah. Now let us see what's really going on. There is chaos, a being in armor that is, again, similar to what you saw Fandor wearing, but much more uniform, less.
Clarification: is that like Illyrian? Eltharian armor, or is it like Ether Guard?
It looks
armor?
like Iltharian.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's not Ether Guard. armor.
It's definitely it's old though. It's
Carry on.
It's older. It's
Like
not
the
as
bad. I don't know this.
We all see this because
like
it's being
Imperial.
projected.
That's right.
Do I recognize?
You recognize it as post-Empire style, possibly from one of the warlords in Chimera.
So it's not like the Emperor or anybody that's
No,
dead?
no.
Or, okay. All right. So continue. I'll probably interrupt you with 1,000 questions.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries. As this being cuts down the members of the Planar Energy Cooperative,
The sword.
the sword is that of the Emperor.
So
And you recognize it immediately.
behold.
And Merrick's, please give me a history check.
That's not good. Anybody else freaking out about this reveal?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
like,
at 19
I
out
have
of the
to-
die, so it's going to be over 30. If that does, I can figure out if you need more specific. Probably like 34.
In the restoration of the memory, there is no helmet, at least no full covered helmet. It is more of a helm that just sort of keeps the head protected, but has much more front facing.
See the face.
You can see the face. It is a middle-aged human, but something sparks that genius mind of yours as you recognize the lone Iltharian that you had plane shifted when you had cast from your helm back in the fortress of the Wormhewer in Imaria 20 years ago.
The guy who was building the.
He was one of the soldiers that you were facing off against, and you used prismatic spray.
Yes,
For context,
that's right.
Yes.
So for
That's right.
context,
Yep.
for context, we were fighting.
Wait. We were fighting to get into the Citadel, and I used this. It was an experimental thing.
Yeah.
Using like refracted forms of energy, and I didn't exactly know what it was going to do, but one of the beams did shoot this guy out of through the planes, tore him out of the veil by accident. That's him.
Where did he end up?
I don't know.
Somewhere
Right there.
where you get the Emperor's blade.
But
Well, hold on.
or this is the thing. We thought this is Carlisle on the road. We'll come back to that, but maybe he met someone or something else.
I mean,
No,
this guy
I thought the guy with the blade. Sorry, but I think the guy with the blade is working for Trelial.
I think that is correct. But I'm saying maybe there was
Okay,
some.
but wait, there'll be more as we.
There will be more.
Yes.
So we see. So we
You see-
Emperor's Blade.
One last thought. We know Trelial, whatever he's from, was in Sigil. So planar travel is involved here. So, I'm just saying this guy must have met someone somewhere, something.
Which we're about to find out.
You see the Iltharian cutting down, absorbing spells being flung and slicing through them. You see one of the planar energy mages throw up the shield spell, and he just cuts directly through it with the blade as if it wasn't even there. A wall of force is thrown up around the ritual. He stabs the blade in and carves it out as it shatters into pieces. And then behind him, a figure enveloped in dark robes with a very dark-looking book just sort of levitates its way in. Spells are flung, and he just throws one hand up and deflects and disparts.
The Book of Vials.
Counters.
I mean-
you recognize it immediately.
Me too. I mean,
I recognize the guy.
Currently does have a hood over, so you can't quite tell. But as all of this chaos is happening, you're seeing this all from Elisa's point of view, which is when you recognize Gordon crawling over.
Oh God, that guy.
And of course, this is a memory, so there's nothing you can change here.
Nope.
But as the hooded figure makes into the center of this ritual in the orrery, all of the energy of the worlds swirling their way around and beginning to course into him, he lifts up his hands. The robes begin to fall away, and he looks over just in time to see Gordon reaching for the card, outstretches with his other hand, blackened and necrotic, and glares at him as one baleful ochre eye with the slit of a cat.
shoot. He's used. Yeah. Yep.
There is a flash of energy.
One bale ochre eye with the slit of a cat.
Remember Maple's things.
Vecna?
It's vacuum.
Is
It's
it-
not him. It's Carlisle with pieces of him.
It's Trelial
Trelial with pieces of Vecna.
and
Travecna.
It's Trevecna.
It's Trevecna.
Sorry.
Vecna.
My doctor could
That's
cure
further
that.
talking.
And that is when everything goes white and the memory fades.
So this.
So this is the
Hold on.
worst guy in the world with the worst book in the world with the worst eye and the worst hand in the world.
So this Trelial from my world got a hold of Vecna's eye
Correct.
and
Okay.
Vecna's hand.
And the book.
And the book.
And the little hook goes,
Vecna's book.
why does Vecna's eye or hand matter?
But this can't be so. I have Vecna's eye in hand under a little glass dome in my room at home.
Well, we need to go back there and take a look.
But
It's probably
here's-
fake.
So there's two possibilities. The one is that it's a fake, or if we
Is
did
that
check.
why it was so cheap?
But worse yet, what if they got into your house and took other stuff? I mean, you've got a lot of
as-
cool stuff just
Yeah,
flying
As the
around in
memory
there.
fades, and Eke just turns. I trust this means something to you. I have no idea what we just saw.
Yeah,
It means you need to take a drink. Perhaps after you've gone backward.
I think I shall return to the front line of the battles.
That'd be a good place for it.
thank you, little fox. Appreciated of your time.
Let us hope that this is helpful to you in your endeavors.
It is very much so.
I shall return now. If you require my assistance, you may call upon Thalagrantis, but it may not be something I can easily give.
Well, I have just one request. If you should happen to kill Trelial, let us know. so we can go home to our family?
I can certainly do that. Yes.
And I have just one request, which is give that stone to your sister, please.
Very well, I shall do so. She owes me big time for this one. I still have to undo the last thing that she owes me for, but well, anyway. Then he steps back through the gate.
All right, you know.
Oh my. So what is
So Krybaris is right, mimicking what he said. I assume this means something to
So
you.
Lord will say, I don't understand why a hand or an eye matters.
So, you are the expert on this. So, I want to hear what you have to
Well,
say.
not really.
Well,
All right.
actually.
because you don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
all right.
because Lord doesn't know anything.
You were the expert on this.
Tommy knows everything.
Yeah,
Tommy shit
Of course,
his
of
pants.
course.
Lord's like, whatever. He's like, what's a door?
There are things in
It's a
this
jar,
world
but it's a door.
that if you look what has happened to me. Look what I have embedded in my chest. It is terrible for me, but it also has given me certain power. This eye, this hand, I have never seen it before, but many travelers have come to my tribe. I have guided them through the mists, and I have heard their stories as they traveled, and I have heard the tales of these two objects of great legend. They are too powerful in the hands or on the hand of somebody who is also powerful.
Shalala was definitely
I-
one of the more powerful ones of Imaria.
I mean, I actually, frankly, with the time I spent where I did, heard a little as well. And we heard before, this entity whose hand it is almost became the overgod before. This is the being that tried to break the laws of Sigil and change the universe. And so what we're saying is we thought at first maybe they were somehow still around. And the point is they are, just not all of them.
Just
And this turmoil.
think of a lich that is powerful enough that most of its body can be destroyed and the rest scattered, and yet it can influence others and work through them and continue.
And this book, this seems to be the opposite book of the one that Inade has.
Yeah, were you not listening in Inade's? I mean, you know more, but Inade was telling us all about it in the Sunny Bee.
They just went to go
session.
find the book and fight against them searching for the book.
He is in great danger then.
You know more of this than I do. What do you know of this book?
The Book of Vile Darkness, the counterpart of the Book of Exalted Deeds. If you read the entire book, you gain fell powers. And
Like fell from Sigil.
Yeah, tattooing. You learn how to make magical tattoos.
yeah.
I gotta read this book.
You gain many evil powers. What you gain differs slightly with each reader. But yeah, you're talking. Just think of the equivalent of a lich.
And this lich is protected by the Emperor's blade and Ethereum.
I think we need to complete this ritual.
Do we have all the cards now?
We do not have all the cards, because I know the deck that I brought was much bigger than this. Let's try putting them all together.
Would you like to make a history check,
Yes,
please?
Oh, wait.
I'm going to remember this time to guidance myself
Hold up.
that I have not done one time this entire time.
I was gonna help you out, but you know.
I mean, you can also.
Sure. Well, I'll give you 2.
Inspire you bardically.
Do you got a song for us?
What's with this?
I do, but I'm waiting.
Okay. 2 for
One
me.
moment, I'm good at
It
history.
is the loneliest of
17, and that's with a plus.
No,
Hold up.
hold on.
6 and a +2, so +8 from me.
25 with all of that and my +7 from history because I am a terrible die roller.
God! 25?
25.
Hey, well, let's just add something to
Oh,
it.
no. I'm going to have to do my own
Everybody
Arcana
else can
check.
go 45 or whatever.
I'm going to do an Arcana check afterwards.
Okay.
Because I can't augment
Right.
Oh, oh no,
Well, they're not.
25 is still pretty good. Yeah.
25 is pretty good.
This is history.
This is history. So, yes, you have definitely heard of these artifacts through your travels in the Dread Domains. And in addition, you would have heard of their weakness.
okay.
For the story of how those artifacts came to be is the story of the Whispered One, Vecna, and how they appeared into this world. Vecna fought against his lieutenant who was trying to betray him, the vampire Cass.
Yes.
Both vanished from the face of Oerth during this conflict, leaving behind only the hand and the eye. And where they went was foreign to many people, but you know that they were sent to the domains of dread, cursed to forever war against each other but never win. Which is, of course, then when Vecna found his loophole and escaped to Sigil, leaving Cass behind. But the reason that all of this is relevant is because the blade that severed the hand and eye from the Archlich's body, and potentially the reason for the betrayal, was the weapon grafted with an essence of Vecna himself, the Sword of Cass, last known to exist in the dread domain of Kviticus, where Vecna was held before his escape.
So,
So we see her face like,
Okay.
Assuming-
Elminster's going to do an Arcana and then a History just to see if there's anything that we can add to that or any contradictions.
Merrick's is just going in.
And he already knew about the Sword of Cass. So what about the sword? Okay, so the Arcana starts with a naked roll of 13, and that becomes a 30. And then with the proficiency, we double the proficiency, so that's a what?
That's already
okay.
taken
Look,
into account.
okay,
I was gonna say,
good.
you're already,
40 is-
And the-
you're already 30 up.
and the
so-
history is 31.
Okay. You can add a few additional notes. You have managed to gather some of the information that has to do with that and Sigil. You know that in order for Vecna to get to Sigil and touch into the fulcrum of the multiverse, he had to basically consume Eus in his demiplane, in his domain of dread of Kviticus, and then using the ascending godhood power, manipulate the gate into Sigil before achieving godhood, violating the laws. Said a god could not enter Sigil. He wasn't a god. But as soon as he managed to get into Sigil, he ascended to godhood, finding a loophole in the system. He was eventually defeated, and Eus was freed, although albeit much less powerful, and shunted back down to Oerth. But in order for that to happen, Eus came to Vecna under the false belief that he would be absorbing Vecna to obtain greater deity. Instead, it was the other way around. And Eus, not being stupid, did have the Sword of Cass, but as soon as he struck it upon Vecna's form, the sword shattered, leading many to believe that that was a forgery. And that the true blade is still lost somewhere in the mists of Ravenloft, having been shunted out of Kviticus upon the destruction of that domain. Cass himself still remains as a Dark Lord within Ravenloft, forever believing that he is facing against Vecna just off in the edge of the mist, breeding and sending his soldiers to die over and over again and never receiving true vengeance.
Gosh,
what does this mean?
this means.
season 2 is what.
It means the shards of the sword have been scattered across the
No, I know what it means,
Oh, yeah.
and
What do you
this confirms it.
What did you
Let's hear it.
First card. Finding love.
Again, he'll put his hand on your shoulder, just knowing what you have been through.
Don't cry, it could be a little stinky finding love.
No, we know who it is. Yeah.
I know. I try to make you feel better.
We must go where she is.
Yep. we'll be there with you.
What's your second card?
Good fortune, which confirms that I need to go back through the mists where she is, and I don't want to find her. I don't want her to find me. But this, in every way, says that that's where we need to go.
Who is she?
Dr. Victra Mordenheim.
Who? Yes.
We can't go just us. We need to go and find the rest, and find as many that we can to help us if we are supposed to go to this place you call, once called home.
What is the third card?
The third card is again repeated so many times in these readings. The financial security topsy-turvy again. This means many things. It means that we are going to hit so much strife, so much insecurity. It is what we need to do, but it is going to be so difficult. We do need to gather as much force as we can, but we will have to go. And for those, well, they have been.
I have been.
You have been.
I had been to Barovia.
Barovia is what my new home is. Barovia, as terrible as people think, in my opinion, is the best of all of these places. We may have to pass through Barovia, and that might be where we go first to make sure that we can secure ourselves as much as possible, but that is not where we are going to need to go.
That's actually fine. Strahd and I have a date for a drinking contest sometime.
I just have to say, this is darker. I've spent quite a lot of time there. This is darker than any of the places we have been, but we will be going there together.
I have been places in the mists too. I will walk with you.
You should not have tampered with this. We will need them.
We'll get it fixed. I can undo things.
Eberron,
A man broke it, a man can remake it.
Eberron, Athas, Krynn, and Aebrynis, Mystara, Imaria, Sigil, and Toril. 16 cards and a legend remains aloft. But one more journey we must take into the depths of Ravenloft.